Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of our isolated city here in City Skylines. But today, I was actually going to build a brand new industry, but I'm going to build it next episode, and there's a reason for it. Today, I want to focus on creating more outside of the region connections because we're starting to get a slight issue within the city. I'll explain it all in just a moment, but if you are hyped for today's episode and excited to see more of our isolated city, then make sure you smash the like button down below. If you are new in here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when those next episodes do come out. Now let's talk about the issue that we're kind of currently facing right now. One of them is, and it's going to be quite a predominant issue the more and more we build, because we're now getting to quite a large population, nearly 100,000, and the city is kind of expanding to where it currently is. Places like our industry are complaining about not enough raw materials. We are becoming even more overloaded on certain connections, like our cargo here and over here, than ever before. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, we haven't really experienced this issue much as we've been building the city because we've been able the demand that we could have, we're able to kind of supplement it, but now we have a bigger issue. And I kind of explained it a little bit in the last episode, but basically how it is, because we're an isolated island, there's two things that we do not have for cargo. That is a road connection to the edge of the region and a rail connection. Now, you don't quite realize how much you utilize rail and road until you don't have rail and road. So right now, all of my cargo can only come in and out of the region via planes and ships. Now, because we only have one cargo airport, obviously this is going to be overloaded in general. And it's also the quicker way to bring the cargo in because it's a plane. And because this harbour here is the closest connection to the edge of the region, I think they go in this direction over there. This is the one that kind of gets overloaded more than any of the others. So the problem is it all comes via plane and ships, which is only two options out of the potential four. I can't have the other two because we're an isolated island. So it overwhelms, and when it overwhelms, it means certain ships and certain planes have to wait quite a while to unload. So if I've got like a factory over there waiting for its goods and it's on this plane, it's going to be waiting quite some time until that plane gets all the way over there and unloads. Same for selling the goods as well. Now, this is why I want to kind of, tackle this issue now before I build any more new industries, because we're going to have the same issues. If I keep building more industries, I'm just putting more pressure on something that's already at max. So I've got to add some more connections outside of the region. Like I said, and I can't do rail or vehicles because, again, we're an isolated island. So we've got to break this down then. Arguments could say, well, then build a second airport. I could, but I feel like there's much better ways. We can maximize the shipping routes a lot more. So as of right now, then, I have one shipping route here. I've got a second one just there. Obviously, the third one's here. Wait, is that it? I've only got four? No, is it? I've only got three? Wait, that's not right, is it? Am I missing one? I feel like I should have one more. No freaking wonder we've got issues. I've only got three. Oh, okay. So, something that we can kind of look at then is the reasons why they're choosing the left over the right. Now, argument's sake, you could say, well, the distance for them to travel. So, as I get to this point, the distance to travel to the right is longer than the distance to travel to the left. So we could kind of play around with the shipping route just there to try and slightly even it out. I mean, you're never going to make it perfect. But if I can quickly delete this route to about there. Right, delete all of this coming in for just a hot min. Delete all that as well. Delete to there. And we'll slightly redo this. So going back to the shipping path right now, it comes in and we'll bring it up to here. It's pretty much fine. If I go across by 70 and then go across by 70, right, and then bring it in, and however it comes in is how it comes in, and how it ever connects is how it's going to connect. So hoping that might be a little bit more even. You kind of never know how it's going to work in this game. You kind of never know. But I'm going to also just do these slight maneuvers. Alright, bring you down to there. Bam, bam. And then you up to there. Create a couple of T's. It might overwhelm this kind of complete area. But you never know. So it might delete some of the ships because I've now deleted their routes. But hopefully it might distribute a little bit more evenly. Now, the ships themselves are coming from down here. So this is all pretty much standard procedure at this point. And then it kind of goes off in that direction. I reckon we should also take a look at maybe bringing a few additional outside connections. So if I go as far as... Cannot create more whoa. Cannot create more outside connection. How many do I have? So I seem to have 2 down here, which there is no need to have 2 there. Where's the other shipping routes then? There's 2 over here. Is there a limit to how many shipping routes you can have? Well, either way, I kind of wanted to make them a little bit more evened out. So we'll get rid of this one, because there's going to be one over here. And weirdly, you have to do it like this to delete it. And then if I come off it and go back on, is it still there? What am I doing? That is not the correct one, sir. There we go. So that's now gone. So I've now only got 3 outside shipping route connections. So we'll put this one back over here then. So spacing it out more evenly. You're not relying on the same corners, because then, you know, ships can come from over here and they might find it's easier to... Wait, where is that one? You know, go to somewhere like over here. Maybe, maybe not. Have I just made it... Do you know what I've just realised? I've just made it, to be honest with you, even worse. Well, not worse, but I've made it to the point where having this where it is doesn't change anything. Now, what I'm going to also do, right, what I'm going to also do is get... Well, let me do this correctly. So that's obviously going from over there. I'm going to have one... Right, get it just right. Just coming from here. That's where I'm going to take it from, just there. There we go. So that more evenly can go left or right, kind of disperse better. So we're going to get some more shipping routes in. I'm going to delete one over here, so I'm going to delete this one. So if I almost put them like evenly coming from all different directions, we'll get a better spread. Now I don't know whether this is still here, so I'm going to delete it. It doesn't delete, so if I put this through it, there we go. So in reality, we've gone from this corner. One's just up there. We've got one over here, and then so we need one around here. So if I kind of go like this, bam, perfect. So spreading them out evenly, so they'll come in all different directions rather than from the same route. So we can hopefully disperse them a whole lot easier. But at the same time, we need more of them. We need more of these little cargo runs. Now, not all of them have to technically be connected to the train line, although that would be the benefit because it's an easier way to disperse the cargo again. But we got to figure out ways in which it would kind of be handy for us. So where we have 2 on the mouth of this kind of entry point here, we have one there. Again, it'd probably be a good idea squeezing over here, but we don't really have anything over on this side, which would also be a huge benefit, seeing as we just added a kind of shipping route from over there. So if I tried to implement something here around where the university currently is, there's a little bit of a dead spot, and we don't really have any train connection on this V here. Now, for the longest time, I've been saying I need to do some type of a cargo stop there so the cargo can get delivered and transported away. I could then kill 2 birds with 1 stone with also incorporating the shipping route as well. So if these guys wanted goods over here, train can bring it all the way down to the shipping area, then it would just drive the rest of it to the building. It works out to be pretty glorious, guys. Pretty glorious. So what I'm going to do, because we have to now kind of configure this a little bit differently because of the way this is all going to be working, we're going to utilize the edge of this to also come around. So I was going to do it with a road, but I realized we have a key wall there, and that would make so much more sense. We're going to bring this up. We're going to bring it by a 30, go across by a 10, bring it down by a 10, and then we'll create a beautiful little harbour. So to there is a 56. So if I do a 46 up by another 10, by a 10, and by a 10. Do you know what I'm just realising? I'm not really following the flow of this, am I? So in reality, I could kind of get rid of that. I could also bring this up by a 15. And if I just push that across by a 20, is that the right way to kind of look at it? By a 20. Because I'm at the harbour just here on this. It's how we're ending this, to be honest with you. That's the bit I'm kind of struggling with. Is how do I choose to end this? What if I did a 10 by 10 bend? Would that be a good way to kind of end that? I don't know. Either way, right, we're going to select the end of it. And we're going to the object height of, let's say, U. I don't know if that's going to be the correct height. Who knows? Who actually knows at this point? But selecting U. There. So slightly raises all that up, which, to be honest with you, that's actually not too bad of a height. So I've got to obviously do some terraforming right now. And is it a good idea to maybe do another 10 by 10 bend? Just kind of create almost like a mini peninsula in many ways. Like that. Because it could be quite a nice little focal point. We can terraform it to make it all look good anyway. So let's just get the landals now sorted. And we will do the brush size stuff. So from there is, I'm assuming that's where I kind of picked it from, isn't it? We're going to sort all this out. La-di-da-di-da. Oh, I went too big there. Can I undo that, what I just did? There we go. Bring that brush size down. There we go, there we go. Right down again. So we're going to have to invert that one segment just here. We're also going to have to kind of bring all this in. Cut it all out. And we'll do it going so far around just to here. And then we'll smoothen it all out just to kind of create the transition of the waterfront. So there's a couple of areas here we're going to have to kind of use the inverted segment tool on right now. So inverted segment tool, which is, I always forget which one it is. It's you and you, and we are good to go. So let's just do the waterfront anyway, which means I can bring this a little bit further down. So I don't mind too much about the edging, because naturally we've got to find that transition. So smoothing it out like that. And that should work. That should work fairly well. So this is obviously all different lengths and heights and all that kind of jazz. We're going to have to slightly adjust this because that was kind of created to kind of sink down in the area. But most importantly, if I just now bring you down to there and then straight across. That didn't kind of turn out very good. I'm kind of looking to get here at a complete 90 degree. But I'm kind of not getting it. But the whole point of that was anyway, to get my beautiful cargo harbour. To allocate. Oh, actually I can't place it in. Because I need the shipping route. Which does skadoodle off in that direction. To align with the vehicle, the road, sorry. So placing that just there. And so if I did it here, is that enough of a bend there to make it kind of go underground for the train line? So we'll come back to adjusting that in just a minute. If I selected the middle here. Well, it's not really the middle, but I can move it over in just a minute. And then what is that bend? So that there is an 8, and that there is a 12. So if I go for the full shebang, obviously elevating this up slightly, we get away with it. But at the same time, we're going to reduce it by moving this over. So move it over by 2, so it almost becomes an 8 by 10 bend in that kind of aspect. So if I bring you, I mean, I can also bring this up. Actually, undo that. Select both of these, move them up. To not make that as harsh. Yeah, why not? Why not? And we'll also slightly raise it as well to get rid of the indentation and bring it above the key wall. And do I raise this bit? Right, what am I'm going to move it to right now, aren't I? We'll slightly raise that to then bring it down into a tunnel. So bringing that completely down below. So I'll go down to a -15 just for the sake of creating said tunnel. And that is what we're going to kind of bring around to connect up to over here. Now, it does seem quite long-winded to do that, but I think it's the best way to kind of hide the train track, so to speak. Even though it doesn't look like it's hidden very well at the minute. Right, bringing this up. I think I need to just not have this elevated. That's the pain bit, isn't it? The pain. Right, there we go. And then get rid of you. Right, there we go. So bringing you down slightly. You're never going to win on all of it. Also, the road doesn't help us out. So let's unhook this road in general anyway. So back to normal. Oh, we're -15 here. I just realised we're still at -15. And we need to unhook you and delete you and you. And we're just going to sort out the road as well, because the edging of this is a bit better. Maybe reduce this down for the edging as well. There we go. That's a lot better, isn't it, guys? Bring that down slightly. It's all slightly better. It's all slightly better. It's never going to be perfect, but it's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. So what we do have this kind of unique thing going on here. I might drop a cul-de-sac on the end of it to kind of close it all up. That would be pretty fun to build upon. So the space in here is not perfect for the alignments, but we'll work with it anyway. We'll work with it anyway. And at the moment, we don't really have a solid road connection to the highway because of where it's currently placed. Now, once we connect the train line, that's what should kind of overtake anything instead of the vehicles. But we will connect all this up to it directly. But let's just first sort out the train connection itself. So we'll start then. We'll start at the -15 because that is where we're currently working with. I could go in that direction, but I don't want to crisscross too much of all of this. We're just going to kind of bring it down because I might be able to come off it in like different directions. I might find it handy somewhere else. So down to there. All I'm looking for right now is the old 21s. 21s, and I think, yeah, that connection's going to be fine. So then we just need to sort this out. So if I start with a 10 by 10 to there, and if I do a 10 by 10 to there, and then the beautiful connection of the connection tool will do the hard work for me. So obviously maximize that bend as much as we can. There we go, to make it the shortest distance possible. It's very long-winded, it's not the best way to do it or whatnot, but there's some straight bits there where we can kind of connect off and add something else on. It's just so I don't have to have an ugly train line coming this way. And we can kind of build this area up to be quite nice. So now then, we can get rid of the sand up to this area. We don't really need the sand on this section, as it's now all down below. There we go. So you're not going to win on all of the areas. As you can see there, it does get a little bit difficult. But once the grass is all completely grown, then we'll be okay. So all we got to do right now then is add the water, add the power in. And then this area is pretty much all up and running. So this is only one of many, many cargo areas we could potentially add in. So we do have to bring the power over. The best way to do it, maybe bring it down here. To connect in for now until I kind of build some more zoning. So this connection here should take advantage more of the shipping routes coming from this direction as it comes in. Nice simple drop off there, which hopefully, like I said before, it kind of spreads out the shipping need. So we've got the new ships coming from over here as well. Obviously we've died down a little bit over there, so we only really got the one ship coming from that direction now. Down here we had the one connection that we connected as well. Obviously there's still going to be more on that one because that is probably the shortest way. And they're all coming in too. So it just takes time to kind of get back to where it originally was. It will take a little bit of time, but spreading them out, separating them, creating better distances is how you kind of approach more outside of the region connections. So this will be a good one. This will be a good little indication of where things can potentially go. And it's still hooked up to the train line too, which is more important than anything else. Because it disperses the cargo traffic a lot easier. It really does. Now the plane situation, that's just a case of the more I get via shipping, it will slightly start to take them away from this. It is a huge pain. There's only so much you can do. So you just got to suck it up, to be honest with you. You just got to suck it up. So cargo's coming in. Are we starting to get cargo from the new side? Yes, we have. Now, are these updated to go to the new area? Not just yet. So that one's already coming out. You're going to over there. So maybe some of the new ones that are coming out, like you there. Where are you going? Aha, so that'll be the first one coming from that way to go to this stop. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect right now. But again, the other thing it does give us is now trains from anywhere can kind of come and stop off here. And then a vehicle can come out and then service some of the commercial over in this area. So I'll just give it like an additional close connection. Great stuff. Great stuff. So now then, how can we implement just more in general, giving us that additional capacity? So the other side of it is, we could also build a cargo harbour, but we could do the one that doesn't have a train line. One, it then doesn't give me the need to connect it to the train line, and then we can just have vehicles driving out. Now, that is also a bit tricky. I mean, I could maneuver some of this stuff and replace it and whatnot. And you are kind of dabbling with a little bit of fire. So you've kind of got to be a bit careful with what you do. Like, I could drop one in here and it will work perfectly, but that becomes such a shorter route for any other cargo that it will most likely choose to go here than versus over there. And then you're really starting to play with a little bit of fire. So if I was to place any of these down, these would be in areas that would be considered the longer route to get to. You know what I mean? So it's a bit tricky. It's like I could place one here. Which, you know what, that would actually kind of work out. Let's use this one as a little test run then. So for 60,000 big ones, we drop you here. Now, the only downside to this one is we don't have a train connection for it. So this is completely new to us. And I wonder if I unhook this road. Oh, no, wrong button. I upgrade this road to be that style of road. And I wonder then if a connection from here to here would wiggle just right. Nah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't, guys. Which is a shame, but we can kind of set that up ourselves anyway. So what I could do, oh, I'm still on that method there, aren't I? Is bringing this just to there. Now I could do it myself without involving the connection tool. Actually, no, do you know what? No, I can't. Because I would need to place a node there. That's me breaking the game. To then wiggle this one. To then wiggle out this one. Now, the fun in it... Oh, I didn't realise how much of an elevation change it is. Well, that's kind of hilarious. So there to there. So you're not going to get much of a gradient, to be honest with you. I think you need a few more nodes in there. He's breaking the game. He just loves to break the game. Oh, what's this on here? Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So it allows us to slightly adjust, but it's still never going to be perfect. Because you're always going to lose out somewhere else. But I reckon we can win just there. So, I mean, to be honest with you, raising this would be a kind of a little bit of a help. And then doing it this way. Right, anyway, so I didn't realise we had so much of a slope over here. I don't like the size of that brush. So smoothing all this down here. Not perfect, but mate, it will do the justice. It will do us good. So that'll be quite fun then to see what this can do. Now, it ain't got the water or the power. Neither does it have a little loop back to kind of get back to where it needs to go. So I could kind of just create something very, very basic here. A 3x3. A 3x3. Bringing it down. And if I just kind of... What's the best way to kind of... Just do something like that. Keep it nice and simple. I won't do no one-way roads. We'll just kind of see how it navigates itself. But that'll be kind of fun. Because that is my first car. I mean, I can't remember the last time I actually built one of these without connecting to a train line. So that's kind of interesting. So we're getting a few goods now dropping over here. We actually starting to see a few vehicles drive over here too. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to solve my big issue, my big problem. No, 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 no. But it doesn't half help. That's the big thing. It freaking helps. So we just gotta eventually see a train going down there. Then I know 100% we're all okay with these connections. Does take a sweet minute or two. But how are the other connections anyway? So these here don't seem that overwhelmed. Now I know by me creating additional connections elsewhere, it does spread out the shipping traffic a bit more. Oh, that just came from over here, guys. That's just come from over here. Hold on. From here. And it's traveling to over there. Ah, so they're shipping goods to other areas within the area. It's pretty cool to see, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, like I said, once I see... I think there's something dodgy going on over here as well, to be honest with you. If I spread that out, if I slightly bow that in. Oh, that's something I didn't do. Normally I do squeeze all this stuff in. But it does drop down a bit, doesn't it? I mean, they can pass through, so they're all okay. We'll just see how the rest of it kind of fluctuates through. Right, that's 2 new additional kind of harbours in. Like I said, it's not saying that I'm solving all the issues, but I'm just making things a little bit easier. So these guys might start complaining more before they stop complaining because of all the reconfigurations that I've now done. The airport is overwhelmed, like it always will be. There seems to be a ship there just completely stuck out at sea. Trying to get over here right now. No, okay, now it's moving. I thought then for a second. Are you okay? Are you okay right now? So that one's just come from Las Palmas to the cargo harbour here. So that one's come from out of the region. So another great indication of a connection. And I just want to make sure that this connection over here is going to be okay. I just want to see a train spawn, and then I'll be happy. So this might disappear again. Which, again, understandable. It is what it is. But I just want to make sure that we've got these all set up correctly for the trains. Now it does get a little bit difficult to try and squeeze in like a connection. So yeah. Only time will tell, boys. Only time will tell. There's actually 2 ships coming over here right now. Because obviously, if I've just fixed the problem and all these ships coming right now are not going to work, the new ones that are now being spawned are the ones that are going to work. But as soon as I see a freaking train connection, I'll be happy. So they do all keep despawning. There's a lot more coming in. Are these full anyway? Okay, they're not massively full. But yeah, they should all despawn. And eventually, once all these despawn ones have gone, then the new ones coming in should be okay. That'll be okay, like, you know, one of these coming in, like this one here. So actually, does this one despawn? Let's watch and find out. Now that one's okay. So that one's skedaddling back out of here. There we go. So even though it just despawned, that's fine because it still could be part of the despawning ships. There is a train connection. Oh, and a train connection coming in. So we've definitely, I won't say solved it, but we've definitely are now 100% up and running with this train connection. So that makes a big difference, guys. That honestly makes a big difference right now that we can transfer the cargo to the trains. This is no longer overwhelmed like it once was, which is glorious because we've spread it out. We've spread out the connections right now. So the other ones are being used more than before. And the fact that we've now just spread out the cargo, it just goes to show how little they were using the other harbours. It just goes to show how little we're using those other harbours. So there seems to be a lot of ships coming into here though. From Santa Cruz. Yeah. I wonder why. But then again, it's the only harbour for these guys, the closest one to them. Otherwise, they would have had to go into here and train it all the way through. So that also makes sense as well. Which again, why I need to build more. But we do need more goods coming in and out. This is still not helping us though. It's the huge backlog with the airport. We have got to solve that. Also, I'm not sure. No, let's say I'm not sure if the shipping over here goes all the way in, but I'm just going to do that to make sure it does go in. Just in case, just in case. You never know. Stranger things have happened in this game. But yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much they're utilizing the other stops more. But no one wants to use this, so it's got me thinking maybe that wasn't fully connected properly to the line. Because I deleted the original, remember? I deleted the original. And come to think of it, I haven't seen anybody go over to here yet. Are you going to here? No. So that makes me think then that was broken. Well, not broken. I deleted the connection for the shipping, line to go into it, and I didn't quite add it back in. So again, that's something else to watch then, just to make sure that we are using it. So like I said, this issue is going to get a lot worse because I have kind of taken connections away, but I'm now slowly adding them back in. So hopefully it just now gets better and better and better. That's the only thing we can pray for. Unless we need to build more airports, which I don't want to build more airports. It's not the way I want to go down doing it. And so we're just now waiting. Where's the shipping entry point over here? We're now waiting to make sure that this is still working okay. I know garbage is piled up and we're waiting for a garbage truck. Now, anywhere else I could squeeze in some additional cargo. So having this in then hasn't done too much damage. Because I thought, you know, maybe they'll start using this over to that one. But again, it's the whole train thing, which is a big draw to them. I say that as two come straight into here. Right, are you going over here yet? No, you're going to over there. Where are you going? Over to there. We are still waiting, guys. We are still playing the waiting game. Still playing a waiting game. Now look how long it took us to fix this one. So I'm not expecting this one to be kind of sorted overnight. But it would be pretty handy. It would be pretty handy. So how is the industry doing right now? I know it's dying out and replenishing here, there and everywhere. Completely get that, completely understand that right now. It would be nice to have more warehouses stored locally. So I reckon with the space we've got over here as well, I reckon we're asking too much to get these bigger, larger ones down. But these ones would be pretty handy, wouldn't it? Have this near the little storage area here. So we'll store some animal products, we'll store some flour, we'll store some paper. I know this is all just different stuff in general. Over here we had the zoned goods. So where can I squeeze some of these bad boys in? Where would make it worth our while? We can get another one just there, which is perfectly sound. And here, to be honest with you, because this makes no difference to the cargo section here. So zoned goods then, zoned industry, we've got two more kind of spaces for it. We did forestry and we did oil. So obviously, forestry, oil, farming, and we'll do ore. So we've got a few different bits and bobs there. So we should see some imports coming in to fill these warehouses. So that'll be interesting. I've got a couple more ships on the scene right now. Going to over there. I don't think any of them want to go to my original one. Over to there. So why would they no longer want to go to this one? It's an interesting thought, isn't it? Literally nobody wants to go over to here. Is this somewhat broke or something? I wouldn't like to think it has, but something didn't seem right. Right, more warehouses. Squeezing more in. So spaced out beautifully. Okay, that wasn't beautifully. That's more beautifully right now, boys. And we'll do over here, then we'll do some commercial goods. Do you know what? Yeah, we'll do some commercial goods, obviously. We'll go for some metals. We'll go for some glass. That will heavily rely on imports again, but we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. So more ships coming in. Wanting to go to over there. That's not broken, is it? I mean, no, it's okay. I've turned it on and off. You're going to over there. It's all going to that one. So I wonder why that one then has like literally now become unused. That's weird, isn't it? That is really, really weird how that's now happened. The straight up switch is crazy. Not enough goods to sell. And so having that issue is just a huge knock-on effect. We got the, you know, they're all now waiting to get into here. So has that just become overtaken via this one? Let's see if I can then shorten the route here into bringing them in slightly. Maybe slightly diversifying. But this doesn't help. The fact that a lot of cargo is still waiting on the planes, it doesn't help. Somebody said to build an ACT tower as well, mate, because I'm missing one. You can't build it on a cargo airport, which is even weirder. But 103, 104, 100 flights, how does that make sense? It just doesn't. Why can't we cap like the amount of planes flying in? Why can't we actually just cap this? And I can't build a standalone area for it as well. And I don't want to build even more runways and having even more stands down, because that'll just put even more demand on. So what is truly the answer then to trying to fix this cargo issue? I don't want to have to manufacture an underground train connection for the sake of, you know, keeping the island alive, but I'm going slightly against the game's logic at the moment, and the game is not liking it one bit. It's not liking it one bit. So it's an interesting one. We'll have to give it some more thought. We will have to give it some more thought right now, but I don't think we've truly got the answer for this issue. Wait, there's a ship here, keeps spawning in and out. There is somewhat an issue here somewhere. There is somewhat an issue here. And we can't, I still don't quite know what's going on. I really don't. Ugh, don't tell me I've broken the game, because look at the backlog now waiting for this one. When this was the chosen one before. Interesting. Very interesting, guys. So we'll have to see what happens then as time goes on. It'll be something that we kind of have to keep an eye on. But yes, we do need to think about then, logically, what is the best thing for us to do. There is definitely something going on here, guys, because that one can't even now figure out what it's doing. Right, if I pause and then move and then replace this down. So I'm replacing it down and then unhooking the road. Because straight up, there is an issue. What's going on with this cruise ship? There is straight up an issue here. Hello, Mr. Cruise Ship. So I've replaced this back down on the logic that now the cruise ships can... I've kind of connected the link to the shipping line. You're not meant to park there, sir. You're not meant to park there. Oh, I thought that was coming in here then for a second. Are they okay? You're not meant to park there, sir. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'll see what this one does. But I'm going to do the same thing to this now. So by unhooking the road again, I am then going to connect that straight bit of road like that. I'm going to raise this slightly up. And I'm going to reconnect the train line. And I gotta make sure it's elevated. That's funny. So I've redone that. We'll see what happens if it's replacing it down does reignite the connection. I mean, I'm actually starting to see vehicles making their way down right now. So, and they're pulling in. I reckon something dodgy went down then, right? I mean, I'm gonna get rid of this. So it goes back to its original system. The fact that we're now starting to see vehicles means that that's going to be working again. Interesting. So we were down a harbour then, to be honest with you. So that does have a knock-on effect elsewhere. So be able to get more goods in and out and not having to rely on all the other connections. Which would be glorious. My imports are coming in. No flour just yet, but my imports are coming in. And there's only really 2 factories now over here complaining about raw resources. 3 over here. I'm not saying that this is solving the issues or not, but you know what I mean? Looking a tad bit better. This will always be an issue until I mean, it's the fact that it wants 100. It wants 140 flights. You are talking jibber jabber right now, may I add? Absolute jibber jabber. So, do I have to think about maybe extending, adding in more stands? Is this what I need to do? Because ultimately, this is so annoying, right? It's so annoying that this is having to be a thing. But so many vehicles coming off this anyway, because they're all filling the warehouses, so you have to give them time. You have to give them a little bit of time right now. So a couple of ships now spawning from over here, which shows me it does work, and there is 1 ship now on the way in. So we're back up and running for this connection, which is absolutely glorious. More cargo coming in and out. It's exactly what we needed. So now utilizing 2 additional shipping connections, which is perfect. We've readjusted the shipping connections around the edge of the region too to kind of spread them out a bit more, so they're not heavily reliant on the one harbour, which is the issue that we have with the airport. So I don't really want to have to build a secondary airport. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to take the whole of this area here and then rejig the airport itself. 140, 150 flights, 160 flights. That's not right. Are we that backed up for cargo on planes right now? I mean, the one thing you have to look at kind of doing is maybe rejigging it to get more stands in. Because I could reclaim this all the way down. Keep the runways where pretty much they are. Taxiway comes down here and just have a bunch of stands on this one side over there. Because that is crazy, the amount of planes coming in. It is a crazy amount. It's a scary amount. Not just a crazy amount, it's a scary amount as well. But it's something you have to kind of think of. That number is now dropped down to 120 odd. So it fluctuates. I get it. You know, planes despawn and whatnot. But let's just see what happens now. Now this one's back open and up and running. Give it time to circulate with all the other ships as well. And we'll see where we're pretty much at. Now all the vehicles for the traffic for the warehouse is starting to die down a bit. They've got a little bit of goods here, there and everywhere except for the industrial stuff. So we'll actually zone some industry for like oil and all that kind of jazz and farming and whatnot. And we'll see if we can also produce our own goods and not have to heavily rely on imports and exports as much. It's a headache. It's a fun headache because it makes you, you know, understand the game more, learn the game more, adjust for the game, and ultimately that's how you make better cities in the future. So while this has been a headache, hopefully the city will come out a lot better in the end. We're now into 110s, about to go into 100s. So the amount of planes is definitely coming down, so having that harbour open has had a positive effect on the airport, but it's still too many planes coming in. We've still got too many planes. So these guys are waiting to come out. So I'm just going to quickly get rid of a bunch of these planes here. I know it's bad and I shouldn't really do this, but that plane cannot approach the runway. You know what, we'll cancel you. Get these planes out of here, boys. Let's get some movement on the go. Let's get some goods exported. So down to the 90s. Is that number getting smaller? Yeah, we're into the 80s. Oh no, back up to 100. I lied. I regret everything. Guys, we're going to end it here. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash a like button down below. Tell us when we see you soon. So goodbye.